So this is not the episode that I planned on recording today, but I think the topic is one that's very important to talk about in small businesses. And so this is what we're doing. Someone commented on one of my business posts recently and said, "And yet you can't even build an IG account." And my response was, "Interesting that you think an Instagram account is a requirement for building a business." And that comment stuck with me, not because it stung, but because I know how many of you have heard something like that or believed it yourselves. So today we're going to have an honest conversation about social media, following counts, and what actually grows a business. Welcome back to Simplifying Small Business from the Growth Table. I am Karen Velez, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened because I think the context matters. I have been running meta ads for my Business Builder Bootcamp that is coming up, and to run those ads, I created an Instagram account and a Facebook page for the Growth Table Small Business Collective. I populated both of those accounts with enough content to show that I am a real person with a real business. And that is exactly as far as I intended to go with them. Growing a social media following is not part of my current strategy. It's not where I invest my time. And yet, someone felt compelled to point out that my follower count was low, as if that disqualified me from building a business. I have been building businesses since 1997. And not just my own businesses, I have helped dozens of other business owners to do the same. My community grows through my podcast, through my email list, through word of mouth, and through direct relationships. I have spent the last year building the collective just in terms of one-on-one conversations with individuals, right? I've done all of that without chasing a following on social media. So no, an Instagram account is not a requirement for building a business, but the belief that it is, that one is costing people a lot of wasted energy. And today we're going to talk about why. Social media is a tool. It is one tool in a very large toolbox. And like any tool, it is useful when it fits the job. And it's a waste of time when you're using it for a job that needs to be a different tool entirely. A large social media following does not equal a successful business. A successful business is built on customers or clients who pay you, value what you offer, and come back again and maybe tell their friends, right? Full stop. The path to those customers is not limited to social media. And for many small businesses, social media isn't even the best path. I'll give you a couple of examples of this. I have one of my other businesses is Just Grow Something. It is a garden consulting company. We have an award-winning podcast and we have online courses. And I have both Instagram and Facebook, and I also have TikTok, okay? And in the beginning, I posted quite a bit on social media, not necessarily to grow my following, but just to share good gardening information for home gardeners. I have never seen a direct correlation between the number of people who follow me on social media and the number of people who engage with that content and an increase in the number of listeners to the podcast or the number of clients that I get for my garden consulting. The two just do not relate to each other. So I have not spent time intentionally growing those social media platforms. I only post there because I want to share that good information. Now, with my farm business, that is something that we have been doing for almost 20 years. And we have used social media to grow that business, but only one particular platform, because we are focusing specifically on people who are local to us. So Facebook has been the best path for that. But now that that business is well established, we generally only use that Facebook account to let people know what is coming and what we are doing and where they can find us. We happen to post that same thing to Instagram because there are people who follow us over there. And occasionally, that's where our customers are that are local to us. But most of the people that follow us on Instagram are just interested in like farming content. So, two different businesses, two different uses for the different platforms for social media, right? And neither one of those is incorrect. And they are both best for that particular business. So, here's what I want you to leave this episode with: a clear picture of all the ways you can connect with potential customers that have nothing to do with your follower count, because your energy is limited and I want you spending it where it actually moves the needle for your business. So I want to be clear. I am not anti-social media. I am anti-do this or your business won't work. There's a very important difference there. Social media can be a genuinely powerful tool for visibility and brand awareness and community building. If it fits your audience, your offer, your personality, and your bandwidth, use it. Use it well. Use it consistently and with intention. There is nothing wrong with social media as a strategy. What I am pushing back on is the cultural noise that says a business isn't legitimate unless it has a strong social media presence. That narrative benefits the platforms and the people selling social media courses. It does not necessarily benefit you. So I like to follow the data on things like this. And according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, the majority of small businesses in this country get their customers through referrals, word of mouth, and direct relationships, not social media content. The SBA consistently identifies networking, referral systems, and email marketing as among the highest returning marketing channels for micro and small businesses. A study published through the Harvard Business Review found that while social media builds awareness, it rarely drives direct conversions on its own for small businesses, especially in the early stages. What drives conversions is trust, and trust is built through consistent direct contact over time. Can you use social media for that? Yes, absolutely, but it is not the only way to do it. Nielsen's Trust in Advertising research has repeatedly found that the most trusted form of marketing is recommendations from people we know, not social media posts from the accounts that we follow. So the idea that a follower count is a measure of business viability, the research doesn't back it up. What the research does back up is relationships, reputation, and consistency. And you can build all three without a single Instagram post. So let's get to the practical part. I'm going to give you 7 ways that you can build real customer connections that are grounded in what actually works for small and micro businesses, none of which require you to post 3 times a day or go viral on any account, okay? And the first one is your email list. If you only have the bandwidth for one marketing channel, this is the one. Email marketing consistently delivers the highest return on investment of any digital marketing channel. The research tells us that the average return on investment for email marketing is $36 for every $1 spent. That number isn't a fluke. It's been consistent for years. And here's why email outperforms social media for small businesses. You own your list. Social media platforms can change their algorithm overnight. They can throttle your reach or they can disappear entirely. Your email list belongs to you. No platform controls who sees your message. A simple, consistent email once a week with one helpful idea and one clear next step builds more trust and drives more action than a feed full of pretty posts. Start building your list on day 1. I will die on this hill. Protect it, nurture it. It is your most valuable marketing asset. If you want to get on my email list, just go to growthtablesbc.com. You can sign up right there at the bottom of the page, okay? The second outlet would be direct outreach. And this is probably the most underused marketing strategy for early stage business owners, and it is also the highest returning. And I get it. Direct outreach means reaching out personally, and that can feel scary and it can feel vulnerable, right? We're doing this through an email, a phone call, a handwritten note, a direct message, or even just an in-person conversation to potential customers or past customers or referral partners. This is scary because we're opening ourselves up to sort of that face-to-face rejection. It's not just throwing a post out there and then tracking how many people see it. It is you reaching out, and it can sometimes mean real rejection. But the difference is there is no algorithm between you and the person that you're reaching out to. You're not competing for attention in a feed. You are having a direct conversation, and that is enormously powerful. Whether or not they reject the message or not, the goal is not to sell in every message. The goal is to start a conversation, to check in, to share something useful, or just simply remind someone that you exist and you're available. So a couple of meaningful outreaches every single week, whether that's an email or a DM or a phone call or a note of some sort, is going to move your business forward faster than 10 social media posts ever will. The next would be referral systems. Word of mouth has always been the most trusted form of marketing, and for small businesses, it's often the most reliable source of new customers. But most small business owners treat referrals as just kind of a happy accident instead of actually developing a system for this, and that's a real missed opportunity. A referral system doesn't have to be complicated. It just simply means making it easy and natural for happy customers to tell other people about you. So this can look like just simply asking a question at the end of a positive experience. Hey, if you know anyone who could use what I do, I would love an introduction. Or sending a follow-up email after a project has been completed that just thanks them and includes an ask for a referral. Hey, if you know anybody who can use these services, please pass along my information. Sending a small, thoughtful thank you, whether that's a handwritten note or maybe a discount on their next purchase or a gift card, whatever it is, when a referral leads to a sale. And then clearly communicating to your network what kind of customer that you are looking for so that people can send the right person your way. You don't need 10,000 followers to build a referral system. You need 5 happy customers who feel good about telling people that they know about what you do. So start there. The fourth way would be strategic networking. And I want to reframe networking for you just a little bit because a lot of people have a complicated relationship with the word, and I used to as well. Networking is not a room full of people just kind of thrusting business cards at each other, or at least it shouldn't be. At its best, networking is just finding your people, the business owners, the community members, the potential collaborators who are working in spaces that are sort of adjacent to yours. So for small businesses, the most valuable networking happens in a couple of different places, like your local chambers of commerce and your business associations, right? These organizations exist specifically to connect business owners with each other and with their communities. Membership is often inexpensive, and the access to a built-in local network is absolutely worth it. There are also industry-specific organizations and associations. So these are going to connect you with peers, but also referral partners and then potential clients who are already in your world. Community events and markets and local gatherings, showing up in person at a farmer's market or a local festival or a community meeting builds recognition and trust in ways that an online presence rarely can match for local businesses. And then also look at small business coalitions and women's business organizations, right? These offer not just connection, but advocacy and mentorship and resources as well. The goal of networking is not just to collect contacts. It's to build relationships. One genuine, mutually beneficial relationship with a complementary business owner is worth more than 500 followers on social who never buy. The fifth way is with your Google business profile or your Apple business profile. So if you serve a local area, or if you don't, but you want to be found in a search, then these business profiles are some of the highest return, lowest effort visibility tools available, and they are free. Okay, it takes about 30 minutes to set up each one correctly, and it puts your business in front of people who are actively searching on their devices for what you offer. So according to Google's own research, businesses with complete optimized profiles are significantly more likely to receive customer calls, website visits, and direction requests than those with incomplete profiles. And your profile is often the first impression that someone has of your business when they make a search. So make sure it's accurate, make it complete, and keep it current. And reviews matter. A consistent stream of getting genuine positive reviews builds credibility faster than any follower count can. So when someone searches for what you do and they see that real people have had real positive experiences, that is trust at work. The sixth would be partnerships and collaborations. One of the fastest ways to get in front of new potential customers is to borrow somebody else's audience, with their enthusiastic permission, of course. Strategic partnerships with complementary businesses allow you to expand your reach without building a following from scratch. So this could look like podcast guest appearances, newsletter swaps or features, co-hosting workshops or events together, and referral relationships with complementary service providers, a bookkeeper who refers clients to a business coach, a photographer who refers clients to a web designer, right? These relationships are built on trust and they benefit everybody. Partnerships are built, again, on relationships, not follower counts. No one's going to turn down a well-aligned collaboration because your Instagram account is new or only has a handful of followers. And then the seventh way is a simple, clear website. Your website is not a social media platform, but it is one of your most important customer connection tools. Unlike social media, your website works for you 24 hours a day without you posting anything new. It answers questions, it establishes credibility, and it gives potential customers a clear next step. It doesn't need to be elaborate. What it does need is a clear explanation of who you help and what problem you solve, a simple description of your offer or your service, proof that you're real and trustworthy, so a testimonial, a photo of you, a credential, or a case study of some sort, and a clear call to action. Book a call, buy now, get on the list, contact me, sign up for my newsletter, whatever it is, right? A clean, clear 3 to 5 page website with an honest message is going to outperform a beautiful website with a very confusing message every single time. And a simple website paired with any of the other 6 strategies I just mentioned is genuinely powerful combination. So where does social media actually fit into this? Social media is a legitimate tool when it's chosen intentionally and used consistently. But for early stage business owners with very limited time and energy, let's be honest, it often gets treated as the primary strategy when it just should be one that is supporting and kind of part of a much larger plan. So before you invest significant time in building a social media presence, ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, is my ideal customer actually on this platform, and are they finding businesses like mine there? If you are a B2B service provider, your potential clients may be far more reachable through LinkedIn, direct mail, and industry events rather than through Instagram or Facebook. If you're a product seller whose customers are browsing for things to buy, those visual platforms might be a natural fit. So know where your people are before you decide where to show up. The second question is, can I show up consistently on this platform without burning out? Inconsistent social media presence can actually work against you. A profile that hasn't been posted to in 3 months or hasn't had any stories kind of pinned in the highlights raises questions about whether a business is still active. So if you can't commit to a consistent ongoing presence on a platform, it may not be the right tool for you right now. And then question 3 is this the best use of my available marketing hours? If you have 5 hours a week for marketing your business, where do those hours create the most return? For most early stage business owners, direct outreach, email list building, and one strong referral relationship is going to outperform 5 hours of social media content creation in terms of actual sales. That may not always be true, but the question is worth asking. So if social media makes sense for you, use it. Pick one platform, show up consistently, and measure whether it's actually bringing more customers into your business. Not followers, customers. Those are 2 very different metrics. If social media doesn't make sense for you right now, or if it's one account that sits in the background while your ads do their job, kind of like mine right now, that is a completely valid strategic choice. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And oh, did I engage with that individual who made these comments? Absolutely, because that engagement actually boosts my content in the algorithm. So I'm happy to reply as often as they are. All right, quick recap. A large social media following is not a measure of business viability. Paying customers are. Social media is one tool. It is not the only tool. And for many small businesses, it's not even the primary one. The research consistently shows that referrals, email marketing, and direct relationships drive the most reliable customer growth for small businesses. And if social media serves your business, use it intentionally. If it doesn't, release the guilt and invest your energy where it actually works for you. Okay, so thank you for letting me rant on that one just a little bit. I hope that kind of clarified things for you, because I think I also needed a little bit of a reminder that not everybody knows what they're talking about when it comes to social media. Next week, we're going to talk about your most valuable customers, the ones you already have. I will walk you through a simple system for keeping customers coming back and asking for referrals without it feeling awkward or salesy. That episode is going to pair really well with everything that we talked about today. And if you're wondering about the Business Builder Bootcamp, if you haven't started your business yet, you've just been thinking about it, or maybe you formed the LLC and you haven't taken the next step, then I invite you into the Business Builder Bootcamp. I'm going to take you from idea to launch in just 5 days. Go to growthtablesbc.com/bootcamp and you will find all of the details there. Until next week, you've got this. I am cheering for you, and I will see you next Wednesday.